Hey guys, welcome to another episode in the playthrough of Gran Turismo 5. Previous episode we were searching for a cool tuner car for the next event that we were doing. A championship with tuner cars. But then again the game crashed, or the emulator crashed. A little bit annoying, but anywho. Let's quickly see if there's any new tuner car here. I doubt it. I think these are mostly normal cars. And otherwise we will probably go with a S2000 instead of a Skyline, etc. I wanted to... For me, there's like a ranking. Like a Skyline is really... yeah, indeed the Godzilla, like one of the really fastest cars. And the S2000 in that ranking is more of an underdog, and I do like it to still have something to look forward to. So now we'll go with like a little bit underrated car, if that makes any sense. I still don't know whether tuner cars can also be in the regular brands. I think it are mostly race cars, if not just regular consumer cars. Like this is a rally car. Here you have really like NASCARs. Here, this is really like a race car. A race car, pretty cool one by the way. Super cool one. What's also really cool is how much description each car has. It's really like a car encyclopedia, this game. This one we drove yesterday, I think, in a license test. I wasn't even aware this one existed. Skyline Coupe. Skylines are always coupe, right? Don't even know what that means. Here, but here you have, these are not really tuner cars, these are really like, again, super cool. But these are race cars. Oops, some glitching going on below on the ground with the shadows. Alright, so here we were, this is the tuner section. We already went through all of them. And there is one S2000, yeah, I think this is the one that we... No, I think this is the drift one. Or maybe this was the one. We already read the description. Fuck me. Yesterday. Or was the other one, was the tuner one? Ah yes, I think it was this one. Yeah, I wanted to go with this one. This looks like more underdoggy. Here, competitive drift, purpose built to challenge the Formula Drift competition. So yeah, it's not this one. So then we're going with the other one. But the other one is actually not really an underdog. Because this one really is quite thoroughly tuned. Like lowered, widened. But here, the engine is just as special. According to Amuse, the base F20C engine was enlarged to 2.3 liters in displacement and is combined with a GT30 Pro S turbine. The turbo modification obviously required reinforcement of the engine block and other parts, but it more than pays off, producing an amazing 617 horsepower. So that is really big. With a maximum torque of 383.3 foot-pound, this means that the car has an incredible power-to-weight ratio of 1.79 kilograms per horsepower. The powertrain combined is also far from ordinary, utilizing a 7-speed sequential transmission to deliver this extreme power to the wheels. Alright, we're going with this one. Hopefully the game doesn't crash again, because I think it crashed when I tried to buy the car. Here we go. Ah, we can even give it a color. Somehow I just like purple. I really don't like purple cars unless it's on an older Skyline. Then I find it super fitting. Same with grey. I'm not really about grey, but somehow I really associate, because I think it's a factory color, I really associate grey with S2000s. Here, this is that Midnight Pearl. This is what I find. I really don't like it on other cars, except on I think an R33 or R30. Wait, let me check out which one I meant. R33. Yeah, on the 33 or 34, I really find that Midnight Purple. There's one on YouTube which has, I think, a sequential gearbox. It's an absolute powerhouse of a car. And it really looks like, in that purple, it really looks like a Tokyo Drift. But anyways. By the way, this is pretty cool. Here you also have the full... Sorry, my phone is ringing. But here you have like the whole description that we already read is also here below the car. But of course, reading it in just text form is much easier than from a scrolling line. So please don't crash. I adjusted one setting in the emulator. Hopefully that makes it crash a little bit less. But I do think it just randomly, sometimes every hour or so, the emulator just crashes. There's like a desync in the RSX module or something. Alright, here we go. Tuner event. Tuning Car Grand Prix. A 5-race championship to find the fastest of the tuned cars. Winning here will require every ounce of power you can muster. We're going for all wins. But I think in a championship you cannot start over. So we have to make it count right from the start. You cannot start over individual races. You can only forfeit a race. So Suzuka I know pretty well. Daytona also. Grand Valley, yes. Special stage, yes. Tokyo as well. So I do know the tracks. Here we go. If we lose a race or don't call me in first, then we start over the championship. And we don't have any... Eights. I'm just thinking, Do we want to put race tires? No, that is too much, I guess. Because what do you have? You have comfort, sports, racing, rain. Yeah, no. Racing will be cheating. Here we go. Oh shit, I forgot. Why is the inside red? Right, I don't really like the inside, and there is quite some aliasing in the white line of the track. But man, we are cheating a bit. Our car is just way quicker. I'm really like holding half throttle. Alright, I'm gonna select another car because this is too easy. Alright, let's do another car. And also see what the competition is. So, Audi, that R34 that I was also thinking of getting, but it looks also too quick. S2000 GT1, CT230R, what the hell? Is that a Porsche? Is that a RAV? What is the CT32R? Right, that is the yeah, I want that Nismo 400R actually. A Muse 380 RS, also a very exclusive car. That is actually a limited edition. 350 or 370. Limited edition 370 and then tuned by the Muse. Somehow I really like the 350 and 370, but somehow it's also not really for me, that car. I really respect the car a lot for what it does, but Yeah, I want to go with the 400R. So that is actually, so there are tuner cars also, I think, in the brand central, in the car brands itself, because I think the 400R is a factory tuned. Nissan limited edition, just like that Muse 380R, the Nissan 350. So we're going to Nissan. Where are you? Here you are. And this car I also really find so underrated actually. Such a cool car. We can of course also tune our own car. But for now, let's go with a pre-tuned one. Here it is. No, this is just a V-spec. Alright, that's weird. Maybe it's a price car. And I also, by the way, have to... I'm gonna cross off the car that we just drove. So we just drove this one. Spoon. I wonder, is that one also factory tuned? I mean, it is from Spoon, right? So we could also go with this car. It's very light and still has 200 horsepower. When the subject of Honda racing cars and tuning parts comes up, the name Spoon is among the first to be mentioned. Spoon has been adding spice to a variety of Honda machines for 2 decades. And among the most memorable is the Civic Type R, built according to N1 regulations for endurance racing. Spoon started tuning E-key Civics around 1995, but with the release of the Type R in 1997, the level of the performance achieved by Spoon reached new heights. The development philosophy behind the Spoon Civic was not just to make it go fast, but instill in it a high degree of balance, such as raising the engine power just enough as not to strain or damage the transmission. Spoon kept the car's curb weight down while making sure that its mass was as evenly distributed on all 4 tires, to ensure good straight line stability and neutral characteristics during cornering. The car tipped the scales at a lean 820 kg, with the B16B engine able to rev to astounding 12,000 RPM. That's crazy! And produce a hearty 215 horsepower. While using parts conforming to N1 regulations, Spoon worked to attain the highest output and endurance characteristics possible for this Civic Type R. Because this machine was an N1 race car, no private customer was able to drive legally on the street, but with Spoon, all of the data and know-how gained from competition cars like the race Civic Type R is fed directly back into its street legal machines. Alright, so it is actually a race car. But yeah, it's much less powerful than the tuner cars that we go up against. So I think this might be a very good contender. We didn't drive it yet. I didn't mark it, at least, as driven. No, I don't have the 400R. Alright, I'm going with that spoon. 12,000 revs. That is crazy. Also really like the looks. The white with the... that's again a car that I really only associate with the Honda Type Rs. That I associate only with one color, that's white. So S2000 is grey. The older Godzilla's is midnight purple or something. And Civic Type Rs and Integra Type Rs is white. And Corvette CR1, it's either yellow or that bluish one from the C6 CR1. Really weird that some cars I really find cars, the colors that I normally don't really even think about. But for certain cars I find it the only appropriate color. Or the most appropriate color. Anywho, I'm still curious why we cannot find that 400R. So will it be in the... Why is that spoon not here? So if it's also not here, but it is in my garage, then indeed there are cars that you can only win. Yeah, it's not here. So there are certainly... So that 400R is probably only a car that you can win. What the hell is this? Where is the car name? What am I overlooking here? Oh wait. It's on the bottom right. CRZ TC. So quickly, let's check over here. It was the 400R. No, it will not be here. It's not done by... a different... tuning house. It is done by Nissan itself. By the way, also, yeah, that's GTR Gran Turismo livery that was in the race. It is not under Gran Turismo tuning. So, is it then under Nissan, or is that also just a car that you can only obtain by winning it? It's so cool that I also have all this DLC. Here, this is what I mean a bit with that midnight purple. It even fits the modern one as well. By the way, what an amazing livery this one is. What is TC? We just also saw that other car that was TC. I think a Honda TZCC TC. Right, this is done by Gran Turismo. This higher performance edition came at a steep price, 160,000. Alright, so this is a real life car. Man, I'm learning so much. High geared boost. Limited to 80 seconds at a higher level. Horsepower is more or less the same, but it's about the torque. very cool car. But what does TC mean? Wait. So we do GTR R35 TC. Ah, touring car. I guess. Whatever that may mean. What does TC behind car name mean in GT5? Touring car. Race prepared build. These are versions of standard road cars that have been upgraded into dedicated track race cars with reduced weight, increased power, specialized livery and enhanced racing aero. Many of these specific TC variants were added to Gran Turismo 5 via downloadable content packs like the racing car pack, functioning similarly to cars that have undergone a full racing modification. Alright, so that's RM. Here man, I'm learning so much today. Anywho, we were looking for that Gran Turismo R33, I think it was. You see, it's not here, so there are really quite some cars that... Yeah, or that one may actually... I did see it somewhere. No, but it will not be here, because if it's a Gran Turismo livery, it will be under Gran Turismo. Here, it should be here. Train Scammer. Wow, that's a pretty cool name. Does that mean it has like big cams? In NASCAR racing of the 60s, where Chrysler Hemi engines were the dominant force, this single overhead cam engine, dubbed the Cammer or SOCC, read as SOC. Right, what does that mean? SOC, C-O-H-C is single overhead cam, but what does SOCC mean? Single over... Alright, so we do SOC versus SOC. Single overhead camshafts. What does SOC mean in Hemi engine NASCAR? Yeah, also the AI says it's likely a typo or a phonetic mix-up with SOHC. Alright, anyway, it was an engine specifically developed by Ford to defeat them. Though there are extremely few of these engines left today, the owner of the shop, Phil Coonan, just happened to come across a pristine engine in an obscure part warehouse in California, and worked hard to bring the historical beast back to the present day, mounting it in the Mustang body, which was extremely popular in the same area. 661 horsepower. Right, but somehow it seems like the car is widened. I don't like. I find it has really weird dimensions, but maybe that is just me. I'm still looking for that Gran Turismo. This one is also pretty cool, actually. But this is probably a drift car, right? Yes. Pretty cool. Also that RE Emiya, I think they are mostly Amiya. I think they only do Mazdas. Let me check. Just like AMG or Spoon does Hondas. Does Amiya only do Mazdas? Almost exclusively focuses on Mazda vehicles. The RE in the company name stands for rotary engine. Alright, there are some exceptions. Alright, basically there were one or two exceptions at the start of Mr. Amemiya's early days. He did some body work for non-rotary, non-Mazda cars. But officially, yes, this is a Mazda tuner. Here, this is Mainz, I think is a Nissan tuner only. Alright, so let me do one more double check and then we are going to race. Maybe it was a premium car, maybe I only looked in the standard car. Alright, so it's not here. Sorry. No, it's also not here. So, yeah, I guess it is. A car that you have to win. Ah, here, no. No, these are only the cards. Isuzu, that's like a truck manufacturer. Apparently they also made that car. Man, there are so many cool cars. These chrome line cars are also DLC cars, which I'm not really. You have them right from the start, but I'm not using them because I really want to feel that career progression, like starting out with smaller cars, which unfortunately also in this game is much less than in Gran Turismo 3 and maybe even 2 as well, where you really have to grind to get cool cars, which I really like because that makes you appreciate your choices much more instead of starting out with all kinds of overpowered cars. But we will be, of course, at the end of the playthrough, any cars that I didn't tick off yet, with the favorite symbol, we will be test driving them. And we also see over here cars that we own. I assume they are indicated, right? So we go to Nissan. Yeah, I find that really annoying. Why isn't there an indication here that we already own a car? Because now at the end of the playthrough, I will be like, test driving all the cars in the garage that are not marked as driven yet, so they don't have the favorite symbol. But I also want to drive any cars that we didn't obtain yet and didn't drive yet, that are not in the garage. But then I have to make some kind of inventorization of what is available in the dealerships and not in the garage. Why isn't that more easily? Sorry, I have like something at my feet. But why isn't that more easily indicated? Right. What is a car that I know we have? Yeah, that is the Amuse. Ah, yes, so it is indicated. I was already thinking that. So apparently I don't have any Nissan yet from the dealerships in my garage. Alright, but I do have a lot of Ferraris already. Man, there are a lot of Ferraris in this game, which is pretty damn cool. Even actual F1 cars. How cool is that? And also, I guess these are the V10s, right? (2010). Alright, I don't know. I think it's V10. F1. How many cylinders in 2007 and 2010? Alright, 8 cylinders actually. F1, when were V10 engines used? Yeah, that must be before the V8s. Yeah, 1989 to 2005. In 1989, Honda and Renault introduced the first competing V10s. 1990s, teams steadily moved away from V8 and V12. 2005, the final season for V10. RPM grew past 19,000 RPM by the final season. Horsepower 700 to nearly 1,000 by 2005. God damn it, that's a lot of horsepower. In such a light car. Sorry, I will continue in a sec. Alright, so this one is 12 million. The 2010 is cheaper somehow. I like the look of the 2007 better actually. I don't like this. That, how do you call that? That flat plane that is behind the air scoop. Like kind of a fin. I find this much cooler. Anywho, wait, I also find that really weird that the wheels, sometimes here they have normal wheels, rims, but here it seems like the rim, the spokes, they are just like a carbon fiber cover. So that is probably just to mimic a BBS wheel for commercial purposes. Anywho, we are going to drive finally. Sorry, that took way longer than I was expecting. Hopefully we will be competitive in the little Honda. I doubt it, but we will see. Fuck me, crash. No crash. Nice. Here, that is the Gran Turismo GTR I was trying to find. Yeah, you see, they have way more top speeds. But maybe we can get them in the corners. No, we don't even have. Alright, I will just continue as a practice run, but we don't even have that well grip. It's really understeery. Wow, that blue RX-7 is also pretty cool. Driving that well. Tricky corner to get right here. Alright, anyways, this is not going to work at all. But let's see if there are some other cool cars that we can get inspiration from. And now that S1 GT1 is also in the field, the one that we were using, which was way overpowered. Here, yeah, there it goes. That car is crazy quick. Alright, so if that one is in the field, then we're screwed. Oh wow, the old yellow bird is also in this game. Amuse, opera, performance, blah blah blah. I also didn't see this car in the section. In the dealership. By the way, our little Honda, I don't think it didn't sound like it was going up to 12,000 RPM. Anyways, let's just go with that, either this one or maybe that 3. That's 370. For this one, that's 380. I wouldn't be really using that car, selecting that car by myself, so maybe this is a good opportunity. But I do like the RX-7 way more, so let's just see. Maybe I have something in my garage. But man, if that S2000 GT1 is in there, we don't stand a chance. Unless we... Unless we tune the car further ourselves. Alright, so that's either a Nissan or a Muse 380R or the, I think, an Amenia RX-7 Mazda. This is just a regular RX-7. Why do I have the exact same car twice? Do we see mileage on these cars? Fuck me, maybe that was a different one because it was blue. Autobox 2002. I don't know if I sold another one which was actually a different year. And the auto box, maybe that is also a tuner brand. No, it's not. Oh, here it is. Nah, that's not the regular one. Alright, I may have sold a car that you maybe can only win. Alright, there is some glitching going on with the wheels or the brakes. Bumped that. Okay, I will have to look it back in the recording whether it was the exact same car, like the same year, because I do want to, maybe not in this game, because you don't even have the money for it. I wanted to say I want to buy all the cars, but that's probably not even doable within a reasonable time period. But I would like to have driven all the cars. So of course, for the cars that we don't have yet, we can just sell all the cars in the final episodes that we already driven, and with that money buy all the cars that we didn't drive yet and do a test drive. I will do that only after having completed fully the game. Anywho, we either go with that 380 Amuse, this one. 380 horsepower. Or we go with this one. 366, 305. And they're both pretty cool. Where do you see the build here? Here, this one is behind the car name. Why isn't that in the stats at the top? Alright, let's just go with this one. Amemia, known all over the world as the premier tuner of the rotary engine, has been competing in the GT300 class of the Super GT series since 1995, when it was still called the Japan Grand Touring Championship. The company's race car was the heavily modified FD3S, the third generation Mazda RX-7. Alright, now this is a race car, this is not a tuner car. We have some graphical glitching going on everywhere, also on the windows now. The Amemia Mu Boost Up 7 is a street machine created by the RE Amemia Corporation, the legendary tuner of rotary-powered cars, renowned for its activity in the Super GT and the D1 GP. The front, rear, side aerodynamic parts and the fixed position sleek light kits are all RE Amemia original designs. RE Amemia has a variety of aerodynamic parts available, including even a GT replica kit, but this particular model has a presence that stands out from the others. In terms of driving performance, the spec live up to the unique exterior, though the turbo is kept stock and the power is only increased through additional boost. The car still produces over 365 horsepower with a maximum boost of 1 kg, along with a maximum torque of 274.8 foot-pounds. It is set up to produce abundant torque from the mid-speed range. It is also equipped with a horizontally mounted intercooler kit, an aftermarket air cleaner, dolphin tail exhaust muffler. What are dolphin tails? Are those pointing downwards a bit? I don't know. And everything from the cooling system, accessories and exhaust system have been thoroughly revised. In addition to these engine characteristics, the quantum-based Amemiya spec adjustable suspension has been perfected to a level which draws out the true character of the FD3S as the ultimate cornering machine. In the Japanese DVD magazine HUD version, it was shown to be utterly undefeatable on winding roads and was dubbed the Demon Lord of Mountain Pass. Alright, let's try it. Project Mu. I think that is the Greek, that U kind of symbol. I think is Greek for, the Greek character for, that is pronounced mu. M-U. Alright, please don't let it S2000 be in the grid. I don't see it. Fuck my life, that car is quick. They're all quick. But we have a cornering machine, apparently.